Me?
Loud and clear.
You're coming up to the security checkpoint. We're going to halt communications until you reach your destination. Enjoy the ride.
And the new star product of the giant Nakamura Corporation has become a revolution in artificial intelligence. We are talking about the Naka, a new robot that has become the perfect housekeeper in millions of homes around the world. It imitates human behavior so well that it can understand, learn, and do anything.
Those fools are playing God. They have no idea what they're doing. They constructed a whole new intelligent race. Artificial beings who can think like us, have their own desires, and make their own decisions, but without human limitations. Do you know what this means?
I know. The potential of this new intelligence is infinite. And it must be ours.
Ghost, we will sneak you into the Nakamura space station in an inconspicuous storage container. Once inside, your mission is to find the space station's core and copy Nakamura's primary artificial intelligence algorithms. We will be in constant communication to assist you when needed. Nakamura's inner defenses will be active, so be ready to face heavy resistance. We only have one chance. Do not fail us.
Hello and welcome to episode 14 of a pile of shamed backlog logs, the GOG chapters, and today we take a look at the indie game Ghost 1.0, developed by unepic_fran and released in 2016 by the developer itself and East Asia Soft. I bought this game in February of 2022 and I finally played it in 2026, staying on the pile for 4 years. Ghost 1.0 is a Metroidvania that has its place in the genre. It's not a comfortable place or prized place, but it has its place. It's a fun, simple and accessible place. Sometimes the place is funny, sometimes it's over the top, but usually it's a nice and challenging place. I originally played it a little bit when I bought it, but there was nothing to keep me going. There was no real hook in the game, so I moved on to more interesting things. Coming back to this game was much the same as the first time. There was no hook to speak of. The story starts slow and without a lot to it. You control Ghost, a robot sent to a space station to find dirt on the Nakamura Corporation, the big corpo of the game. I find it interesting that the only real direction at the start of the game is we need to find this room, and then you are told, I don't know where it is, go and explore. You eventually get a general mission, but where to go or how to get there is completely up to you. However, the game tends to over-explain certain things, such as temporary mechanics or even some new mechanics. Story points are also exaggerated in a way that feels very forced. The voice acting is good, no problem there, but I would say the script is the issue. After I finished the game, I then found out that the creator is a big fan of Hideo Kojima, which would explain the constant exposition given in cutscenes. It is very much like a Metal Gear game in that aspect, and only that aspect.
Houston, that box had a strange cube. Shall I pick it up?
Ghost, hold on while we scan it.
Do you know what it is?
This is fascinating. It's energy in cube form that can be absorbed and collected within the chassis.
Did she just find Energon?
Funny. No, not Energon. Man, not sure what it's used for up there.
When in doubt, follow RPG rules. Pick up everything because you'll need it later.
Oh, not again, please. Jacker, this is real life, not a game?
What's the difference, Dr. Falcon?
Collect them as you see them. We'll find out their purpose later, Ghost.
Acknowledged.
The creator went on to make the game Unmetal, which is itself a parody of Metal Gear, and that game's on the pile as well. As I played Ghost 1.0, a few things were hanging on the back of my head. Mostly I had no reason other than the radio guys telling me to do stuff. No real drive to do some exploring or Metroidvaniaing, but I persevered. The graphics are simple but very nice, the music is good and fine, and the sounds are very clear and crisp. And that's when I realized something. This game was made by the same developer as Unepic. I came to that realization when I heard one particular sound effect that was used in Unepic as well, and I immediately saw how much of an improvement this game was over the previous one. I loved playing Unepic and was really happy to play this one more after I had that realization. It made sense. Unepic was also directionless up to a certain point, so I kept on going with Ghost, knowing that the story would eventually have a very good hook. Now, the gameplay itself is a bit odd. I like it, don't get me wrong, but the controller layout is so weird it makes my head spin. Of course, I could have just changed the bindings on the menu or even used my keyboard, but I don't like doing that every time. I'm always certain the developers knew exactly what they were doing when they assigned keys to actions, even when it's obvious that it's not the case, like here. On the controller, you move Ghost with the left analog and aim with the right analog, which is good. You use the directional pad to use items, that makes sense. Then you fire with the right bumper. Okay. You fire your secondary weapon with the right trigger. That's inverted. You jump with the left bumper. What? You dodge with the left trigger. Really? You swap secondary weapons with the top button, Y on my Xbox controller. Okay, that makes sense. You open doors and interact with terminals with A, yes, but why doesn't it jump as well? You do nothing with B, really? And you can leave your body to roam in ghost form with X. Okay. I don't get it, but fine. I could have rebound all those keys, but I have no issues getting used to odd controls. Mirror Z jumps with shoulder buttons as well. I don't see the issue. But the inverted guns was kind of problematic at first. The B button not dodging was also a weird thing to get used to. But those are minor problems, and they have a ready solution. Now the game itself is fine. It's just fine. The story eventually makes a nice hook to keep you coming back, and one nifty little thing that was added was a recap of what happened since you last played. Anytime you boot up the game and continue from the main menu, the voice of Ghost narrates the events of the last play session in cutscenes, in a very simple and effective manner.
Previously on Ghost 1.0.
I know someone who has one at home. He says that some people in his family think it's a normal person.
People are stupid by default. Too easy to fool.
Houston, I have the green access card. However, it doesn't have the full password on it. Not sure how much of it is missing.
We'll have to find the other card pieces for the full password.
And now the outcome.
It's really well done, and I wish more games did that, because sometimes I just forget details of a story. Having this quick recap is a very good tool. The animations in the cutscenes are simple, but work well. At first I thought there was only a loop of animation between the two radio guys, but I was surprised to find that there were plenty of scenes, characters, and situations shown in the animated cutscenes. The game takes place almost entirely in the Nakamura space station, with one flashback level and one side mission near the end of the game, both on Earth. In those parts, there are changes to how you play, but mostly it's the same thing. I mentioned the sounds and music before, but that was just to tell you what brought me to the realization of who made this game. In all honesty, the game's music is serviceable. While not memorable, it fits well enough with the themes and atmosphere of the locations, and the sound effects are simple, but well used and well placed. As with any Metroidvania, Ghost 1.0 has its own array of menus to deal with. The usual map that has little to no information on it is there, indicating some points of interest such as shops and save stations, as well as some other important mission points. You can use the save stations to heal or to travel to other save stations, which are actually 3D printers, which are used to explain how you keep coming back after you get smashed to bits, because only the physical form of Ghost is destroyed. Her ghostly form can then teleport to a save station of your choice to be rebuilt. Shops are what they are. Shops can sell items, power-ups, weapons, or refuel life or items. One shop does not hold all items, so you will be going back to previous shops to either buy that power-up that can change a boss battle, or an item that was actually very useful until you discovered it. And there are quite a few items and weapons to purchase. There isn't money in this game because since everything is 3D printed, you don't have to actually pay for it. Except you do. With power cubes. You need power to make things, so you pay with energy. Money by any other name.
I can offer?
Yeah, sure. The Naka AI algorithm would be nice. I might be short on cash, though.
It is good to see that the new models finally include a sense of humor. There is no money in Nakamura. Everything is free. Take whatever you need.
Anything? No limit? What's the catch?
Well, dispensers need energy cubes to print devices. You can get whatever you like as long as you have the energy cubes for it.
You collect power cubes from defeated enemies in crates. Some enemies will not drop cubes at all, but those are not difficult to destroy either. Cubes will also reduce in value if you do not collect them immediately, and will eventually disappear, unless you have a special item that collects them automatically, in which case they will reduce to 1 point only and be automatically collected at that point. But if you want the fat stacks, you have to be moving as you fight enemies, so you can collect full, juicy power cubes. There are service rooms that connect areas that would otherwise be very far from each other, creating shortcuts between them. When you enter the first of these, you are told there are steam pipes all over the place, and a single shot can puncture them, releasing steam, which hurts you. They recommend you navigate these shortcuts with upgrades disabled to avoid accidental damage to the pipes. It's true that it is a good idea, but some of these shortcuts are also guarded, making it so you have to shoot enemies, nothing worth noting, but missing a shot or even firing more than you had to will damage pipe. Any other rooms are simply hallways that connect to each other. Some of these rooms are locked, and you need to assemble keys by visiting specific areas of the map to create them. Usually, the path to these rooms are rigged with alarm areas. Alarms are good risk and reward areas. Some alarms are avoidable and you can just pass them without issues, but many are on the way and you have to activate them. Rooms have alarm levels shown on the top of the screen, and each level increases the amount of enemies and how hard they are to beat. It's not like they become bullet sponges, but rather different types of enemies show up depending on the alarm level. Once you clear the room, a terminal can be used to unlock crates that drop large amounts of power cubes, and the alarm level goes up by 1. You can quickly see if an alarm room has been previously cleared, as the terminal now shows a yellow screen rather than a red one. When the terminal is yellow, you can manually activate the alarm to get a new batch of power cubes when you think you need more. As you go around and collect key pieces, you will also get skill points, which are used to unlock some feats. There are 5 different trees to choose from: the chassis, Bugin, Jacker, Ghost, and the station. The chassis is the robot that you inhabit, and its skills are usually combat related. Bugin is one of the radio guys you are in touch with, and he provides helpful health and protection feats. Jacker is the other radio guy who helps with alarms and assistance from other bots. Ghost enhances the skills when you are in ghost form, and the station can be upgraded to offer better rewards or greater challenges, with things like generating more powerful or weaker robots, releasing healing items after an alarm, or even making it so a robot cleans up the collectibles in the room. All these things together do make a fun game, and the story eventually kicks up a notch and becomes a lot of fun and quite intriguing, especially the twist revelation at the end. Very cool. Once I beat the game, it opened the possibility to restart it with a new game plus, keeping all items, upgrades, and skills acquired in the previous run. The difficulty does increase to reflect those advantages though, so it's not like a stroll through the park. I then went to check the extra missions in the main menu, which are nifty challenges with different parameters to finish them. I tried one of them to see how hard it is, and it can get complicated very fast, especially because you do not have any upgrades, skills, or items to start off. You have to collect everything as you go, and the maps are not pieces of the main campaign, which in itself gives some extra value to the game. Overall, I had a good time with Ghost 1.0. Took a while to get the gears turning and me interested in the story, but we got there in the end. I was actually expecting the ending to lead to a sequel bait, but no, it's well wrapped up and it's very nice. If you are a fan of Metroidvanias, this one is good for a few quick sessions. Or even if you never tried Metroidvanias before, this is a good starting point as well. For veterans, I would say try it for the kicks and in a higher difficulty, or even in the rogue mode, where death is permanent and you do not get specific items in the shops. At the end of the day, Ghost 1.0 is a nice 2D Metroidvania with cool graphics, nice music, weird controls in the gamepad, and a good story eventually. Worth a try. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.